Okay, welcome back, Jules and Gents, to my channel. And he already wants to say hello. Say hey, Duce. Y'all can't see his eyes because he needs a haircut, but there they are. But like I was trying to say, if the camera's like yellowish, whitish, it's because I have 3 different lightings right now. I have natural light coming in from this way, then I have my actual light that's above me, and then the kitchen stove light. It's a lot, so we're just gonna work what we got. Hopefully it looks good. But I'm back with another story time. I'm actually feeling really shitty right now. Excuse my language. Stop, Duce. I'm actually not feeling that good because today is the first day of my cycle. I know, TMI, TMI, TMI. I don't know if I'm gonna end up editing this video because, me and my editor, well, the guy that owns the editing app, he still has not replied back to my email. So if the sound is a little bit low, I'm so sorry, guys. I am gonna try to talk. I just noticed I was talking real low, but I'm gonna try to talk louder because I went back and tried to play the other video on my TV and it was so low. So I'm like, I know for other people who do the same thing that I do, I normally like to plug my YouTube videos onto my TV so I can do other stuff on my phone. So if you're one of those people who like to try to watch me on, yeah, I don't like that look, who like to try to watch me on their TV like I do other YouTubers, and it's low, don't mind me, y'all. I'm trying to get my hair in a position that I feel cute in, and it's low. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I feel like them white girls in high school, they used to always be like, how does my hair look, Samantha? I really feel like one of the white girls right now. I don't even have no lip gloss on. Like, this I don't like. My hairline is so weird that this makes it look like a bald spot. In actuality, it's not. It's just how my hairline is. My hairline is like, and then this side is actually like outwards. It's weird. So, hold on. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, so I am back with another video in the installment that I started 4 days ago. Which is actually about me and my younger days in high school. So, one of my good subscribers, I don't know what her ad name is now, but she used to go by Toy Doll. She was the only person that did what I asked, which was comment which order you think my story time should go in. So, since she's the only person, by default, her order wins. So, we're going to start. I hate that these are all different ones. That's very aggravating. Look at it. Like, ugh. Sorry, guys. But, we're going to go Po. No. I forgot the names already. We're going to go Tater. Second person I ever had sex with, which we'll give him a name later on. I'm thinking about naming him Mushroom, because he like a little mushroom. And then Po. So Tater, second person, and then Po. So let's start with Tater. Alright, so I met Tater. I did give you guys a little bit of a backstory in my last video, but in case you didn't watch the last video, let's pretend like this is a whole new person and a new segment. You guys don't know anything. I met Tater on Facebook when I was about maybe 14 or 13. I had known him for about 2 or 3 years before we ever met. So we were Facebook friends, and on Facebook, like I mentioned previously, on there it said I was 20 because I had to make me acceptable for age, you know, whatever, in order to make the Facebook. I had Facebook since like, oh girl, like I think like 2 years after MySpace was unpopular. Like, I waited a little bit because I still was on MySpace. I mentioned I was young, so I was late to the game. I had got a MySpace so late, and then when I finally got Facebook, I was also so late because Facebook, you could either, back in the days, you could either make the profile on a computer or a laptop. So computer, laptop, same thing. Desktop or a laptop. So we, in my household, did not have a computer. So what happened was, kind of like my godmom, but not really. I don't really claim her as that anymore. But my stepdad at the time, his uncle moved across the street from us, and they kind of took me in. So basically, I would be over there all the time. Like, they had a Dalmatian and a... What is you doing? What are you doing? Come here. I don't know what he doing on that floor, but he better not be peeing. They had a Dalmatian and another dog, and my mom was scared of dogs, so I used to always go over there so I can hang out with the dogs. And they just kind of turned into my second house. I used to always be over there. They had a guest room, and like a couple months after they moved in, they ended up getting a computer. So finally, I was able to make a Facebook, and from there, I had a Facebook at 13. So 12 or 13, I don't remember how old I was. Anyways, behind my mama back, because she did not approve of us having a social media. Back in the days, we just called it Facebook. She thought we were too young, and Facebook is for grown folks, and da-da-da-da. So, my mama didn't even have a Facebook at the time. My mama just got a Facebook like 6 years ago. Maybe 6 years ago. She was not hip to the game. So, anyway, she just didn't want us having a Facebook. And then what happened was, before we ever got a phone, I think I got a phone at the age of, Jesus Christ, my mama did not play, I'm telling y'all, my mama did not play any games. Like, she was that strict mother, like, y'all don't need no phone. We had track phones. Like, I don't even consider that a real phone because you couldn't do anything but text or call. And then at the time, when the first time she got a real phone, she only bought one phone. Now, my mama has 3 girls. My little sister, who did not stay with us until she turned about 12, which was 15 for my age. So for like a couple years, me and my older sister shared one phone. It was not a touchscreen phone. It was not a BlackBerry. It was a flip phone. And that's was back in the days where I'm cold. I'm hot, y'all. I don't know if y'all can tell. I have so many emotions, but my body is out of whack today. But listen, this was when you couldn't do, what was it, free texting or free calling to after 9 o'clock at night. And we used to share the phone. Oh, girl. That has story time within itself. And I'll give y'all a little title to what that story time will be later. When my boyfriend ended up being gay, girl, we'll talk about it another time. But we used to share the phone. And so after about 8, 9 o'clock, I would give her the phone and let her do whatever she wanted to, talk to her little friends, whatever. So what ended up happening was my sister stole some white kid's iPod. This was when like the little iPod with the black little thing over where the camera is now was popping. Everybody had iPods but us. Like, we were a poor bitch. We was only $18,000 a year making in the household poor. Like, it wasn't until, I can say this now because he doesn't do it anymore. At the time, my stepdad that my mom was dealing with, he started to get back working, and he was selling big drugs. Like, so when he started back working, he ended up working at first he was working at some place. I think it was called Sterling's or something like that. No, it wasn't actually called Sterling's. It was called something else. But I forgot what the fuck the name of it was. He was working there, and then he ended up getting caught selling drugs on the premises, so then he got fired. That's when we went back poor. Then he started just selling drugs big time. And then we was big rich, bitch. So my mama started buying PlayStations and Wii's and all type of shit, right? So we had all this extra money, so she's buying us more electronics and shit like that. So what happened was she bought my sister a PlayStation. On the PlayStation, back in the days, you can still do this now. It's even more, you know, high tech and quicker. You can get on the internet. So we used to get on our Facebook on the PlayStation behind our mother's back. So I used to talk to him on the PlayStation, and I used to, you know, write him and stuff at night when I was away from the computer. And then in the daytime after school, I'll do my homework and then run across the street. And we used to just talk all the time on Facebook. All the time. Any chance I got. I don't know how he was talking to me. I don't know. I never asked him. All I know is, bitch, it was a struggle for me to talk to him. So, long story short, you know, age 13 goes by, age 14 goes by, age 15 goes by. My little sister finally moves in with us. And then what happens is my mother decides to get us one of the first versions of a touch screen phone. So it kind of resembled this a little bit. This is my iPhone 8. And it was like a button. Instead of it being a tiny button right here, it was a big button in the middle, and then it had like two blue. It was a blue button on this side and a blue button on that side. So all of it wasn't touchscreen. Like most of it was, but all of it wasn't. So after I got that phone, I was talking to him every day, girl. He had got this phone number, sweetie. So from there, he was like telling me how his lease is almost up in his apartment in Winter Haven. I'm like, apartment? Oh my God, he's grown, girl. He grown. So I'm over here like, woo. I haven't told him, like, hey, you know, I'm a jit. Like, I told him, like, I'm still in high school. But I hadn't told him, like, I'm not about to be 18 yet. We never really talked about age. I kind of love and hate these pieces that are doing this. But, so he knew I wasn't legal. But he didn't know how far away from legal I was. I was only 15 before he moved back to Lakeland. He was in Winter Haven at the time. If anybody know Polk County area, that's not that far away from each other. But a lot of people, I don't think nobody really wants to drive to Winter Haven or Lakeland from Winter Haven to see anybody. Like, it's just very tedious and a lot of gas. So that's like driving from, let's say a popular area people might know about. Yeah, I don't got a great reference. Maybe like driving from Queens to Brooklyn, maybe. If y'all been in New York, maybe it's about that. Okay, so just guessing. Anyways, fast forward, right? I turned 16. He's like, my lease is up. I'm moving into this house in Lakeland. I can't wait to see you. We should finally link up and So he moves to Lakeland. At this time, I'm 16. I've been 16 for a couple months now. I'm about to be 17. And he finally gets his house. I'm not to call it an apartment. It was a house. It was an actual house. And he's like, hey, I'm in the city now. Where you at? When we gonna link? And I'm like, listen, I done got to school at 2 o'clock. My bus doesn't get to my house about 2:30. Y'all, my school was 30 minutes away from where we lived at. I went to George Jenkins High School. I don't know if you guys know. If I got any Polk County subscribers, then bitch, y'all know what school I'm talking about. But I stayed, my mom still stay on 2nd Street, which is like 30 minutes away from my damn high school. So it used to take us 30 minutes to even get to school and 30 minutes to get home. So I told him, like, I don't get off the bus till like 2:30. And when I get off, I can't go outside until after I do my homework and then I do my chores. See, that should have been, these pieces really pissing me off, y'all. That should have been a red flag. No, my hair gonna make me mad the whole video. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm irritating somebody that's watching. Like, girl, stop playing with your hair. My hair is irritating me. A lot of times I just pull it back into a ponytail, like, so I'm not used to my hair being down this much, because I only have it down if I'm going somewhere or something, but I haven't been going nowhere, so I'm so used to it just being back into a ponytail. But like I was saying, that should have been a red flag to him. Like, oh no, Shawty too young. She got chores. She can't leave the house till she gotta get done with her homework. Oh no. So, but to him, he just like, okay, well, what day do you want to link that you could be available and stuff? And I was like, I really don't know, because my mama is very strict and she gotta know where we're at all times when we are around the neighborhood. So I don't got no good lie set up to tell her. Fast teller girl. So boom, right? Finally, I think it was like a weekend. We finally seen each other. It was like 2 or 3 weeks. I want to say maybe 2 months after he moved in that we finally seen each other. We seen each other the first time. It was outside. It was like he had came. Oh, I didn't tell y'all. So his house ended up being literally across the fucking highway from my mom's apartment. So that was like a 5-minute, 10-minute walk, depending on how much traffic it was, because you had to wait for the little thing across, whatever. So he ended up coming across and then coming to see me at the convenience store down the road. This convenience store was also mentioned in my first story time. I slept with my best friend's, my boyfriend's best friend. If you haven't watched that, watch it. So he's like, hey, yo, you look so cute, And then I decided to tell him, like, I just want to give you a heads up, because he finally told me he was 20. He's like, yeah, I'm 20, My birthday is, I think it's like August or some shit like that. And I'm like, well, I'm 16. My birthday is not until March, At this time, it's like going on May-ish, moving into June. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, are you okay with me being 16? He was like, yeah, you very mature. I've been talking to you for a while. I've been waiting to meet you. Like, it's been, at this point, 3, almost 4 years. So I'm not going to stop talking to you now. Bitch, I couldn't relate. I would have stopped talking to me. I would have stopped talking to me when I found out I was in high school. Like, me at 22 years old, like, I remember me at 20. I remember how it was when I turned 20. Bitch, I didn't want to talk to no dude that was under 20. Like, if you 19, no, I can't do it. I talked to one dude when I was 20 and he was 19. And that was like the worst fucking mistake of my life. He was so immature, didn't know what he wanted out of life. He was so fucking boring. It was just a lot. And he got his own shit. Like, bitch, I got so many good story times. Bitch, he was so immature. He never owned up to nothing. The nigga tried to say I gave him an STD. Like, girl, would I say that was the last time I was dealing with a nigga that was younger than me? No. So I'm like, I couldn't imagine me being 20 dating a 16-year-old. So, or dealing with, or having sex with, or even touching or kissing. So I'm like, at this age, I'm like, oh girl, he was fucked up in the head, bitch. Cause I even looked 16. Like, I thought I didn't, because I was in that moment. But when I look back at a lot of my pictures, Facebook love to remind you, girl. When I look back at my pictures, I was like, damn, I looked so young, like baby face. I was so baby face. So I'm like, right now I look baby face, and I'm fucking 22 years old. So I'm like, I don't understand, like, how could you bring yourself to do that? Disgusting. So, to all these men that dealt with me when I was underage, which was only 3 dudes, disgusting. But you guys, it's disgusting. And I mentioned that to them. Like, now I don't have no malice. I'm gonna say this in every video. I have no malice towards them and what they did or how they moved. And dudes love to use the you were mature thing, but I just feel like maybe you were immature for wanting to talk to a jit. Like, jit equals a child. Like, I was a child, naive at the finest. So, fast forward, right? Go ahead. What happened was, the first couple times we linked, it was outside during the daytime. Then, I finally got an opportunity to meet him at his house. The first time we met, of course, he tried to have sex with me. I was not ready to have. I still was a virgin. I was not ready to have sex. We kissed, we made out, we dry humped. that shit hurted. It hurted, girl. I didn't like that. Whatever. And then afterwards, I had went home. I was like in shock. Like, bitch, I had never did that with a dude. Like, I kissed guys before and made out with guys before, but the dry hump part I had never done. So I was just like kind of apprehensive to even go back to his apartment, because I'm like, girl, it got real hot and heavy in there, and it was really hard for me like to tell him like I'm not ready to have sex. Like, so like a week or two later, I finally mustered up enough courage to go back to his house. And this time, did we do it that time? See, let me tell y'all something. This is why it's about to be titled, What the Fuck is about to be titled. I didn't even, like, my memory with him is so fuzzy because so many things, I didn't understand what was happening when it was happening. So then when I try to go back into the memory, it's like, wait, what? Like, because I didn't know. Like, so when I say I didn't know, I didn't know a lot was what it was. So my dates and memories are fucked up. I think it was like 2 weeks later, maybe 3 at the most. I don't remember. I know it was summertime by that time. Because what was happening was my mom, we would be home. And she would be at work. Because we had the same school schedule as her work schedule. She would go to work at 6 a.m. We would go to school at 6 a.m. We would get dressed. Our bus would come pick us up at like 6:30 in the morning every day. So we could be to school or in the bus line by 7 o'clock. Because classes started at 7:15. So we were up early every day with my mama, and she got off work at 3:30. We didn't get home till about 2:30. If it was a lot of traffic on the road, maybe 3 o'clock at the latest. So we would always be synchronized with my mom. So listen, let me tell you, when the summer came, it was just us. No summer camp, and I think this year we wasn't in summer camp yet. I know I was in summer camp. Where I was traveling, girl. I was traveling, girl. When I had got into like leaving with my best friends, so we was state to state, baby. Every summer, girl. After this, we was everywhere, girl. So I went to like 7 different states in like 3 years. So let me tell you, this year we hadn't. I think this was a trip where they were supposed to go to South Carolina and North Carolina, and I didn't have the money, so we ended up not putting me in summer camp. So every fucking day I would wake up, because my sister was a late sleeper. So what happened was, every time my mom would leave for work, I would wake up like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I would go to his house. I would walk by myself to this nigga's house. So this time when I finally came back, he used the famous line that all guys use: corny niggas. Ladies, if you know, go ahead and comment. But I'm gonna go ahead and say anyways. So it's getting hot and heavy. And I'm like, I'm still a virgin, whatever. I'm like, I don't think I'm ready to take it down that road yet. And he was like, okay, well, we don't have to do it all the way. Just let me put the tip in. Where you going, little boy? So, as a kid, as a non-experienced person, as a person who never heard that line, didn't know that line existed at the time, just very not hip to the game, I'm like, of course. I say, okay. Now, this is where it gets tricky. After that, first of all, I heard it like hell. Let's start there. After that, it just was a ongoing putting the tip in. But, I gotta back up. I'm not telling y'all this right. Okay, so after the first time we dry hump, right, it turned into him just giving me, fellatio for a while and not being reciprocated, because I, at the time, did not do fellatio. I didn't start doing that till I turned 20. Because I told myself, like, first of all, I didn't want to lose my virginity until I got married. Broke that rule. then I told myself, I was like, well, I definitely don't just want to go around here giving any nigga head. Like, so I told myself I'm not going to do it until I want to do it. And I didn't want to do it until like 2 years ago. And now look at me. Around here, tearing it up. I be tearing it up, y'all. And nigga ain't never complain. So, anyways, fast forward. Come here, baby. Fast forward, right? So for like a couple weeks, I would come over there. He would just give me, you know, what I needed. We would chill. I'll leave. I guess he got tired of that. So then that's when he asked about putting the tip in. I told him yes. And after that, almost every day, because I was still going over there every day, we would just put the tip in. I'm still thinking, like, how is this just the tip? Like, this don't feel like, girl, dumbass. This story I laugh at now because I'm like, bitch, how did you think that? For months, I thought we was just putting the tip in. Like, girl, no. And let me tell you why. Because all my friends who had lost their virginity before me told me, like, right afterwards they were bleeding and this and that. And I never bled. All the things that other girls told me was happening to them never happened to me. It never happened, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure he okay. But it never happened at all. And I'm just like, still thinking I'm a virgin. So, finally, like a couple months later, like, summer's about to end. It's like August. I finally asked him, like, so dead serious. I'm sitting on top of him, like, while he's laying down on the bed. We're not doing nothing at the time. I'm just talking to him. And I was like, you know, looking down, how are you? I'm laughing because this is so embarrassing. But how are you just putting the tip in? Like, we doing a lot. Because, baby, he was hitting skulls, baby. When I say he was, oh, girl, let me tell you, right? Oh, let me tell y'all. So, listen. Let me tell, I'm so sorry, y'all. I forgot all about this. This is really actually very funny. I'm laughing because, bitch, this is a real kiki. So, this is the main reason why at first I really was not pro giving head. So, girl, he used to blow this little back out, girl. So, I'm thinking in my head, like, how is he just putting the tip in when this shit, I can feel this shit in my stomach. This shit is like, girl, I used to leave his place and be walking back, right? And bitch, Cootie Cat on heartbeat. I'm just like, oh my God, like, oh, this shit is, oh, girl. Like, I used to be like really thinking heavy walking home. And then when I go to sleep at night, I can feel it in my throat. Somebody gonna think I'm lying, but I'm so serious. I used to feel it in my throat. Like, I'm not in the center of the camera. I'm sorry, guys. I used to be in bed, and it was so hard for me to sleep because I literally could feel the sex, the dick in my throat. While I used to be in my top bunk, just like, it was so hard for me to breathe, girl. It still felt like it was, girl, we were still having sex. Like, girl, that was at 8 a.m. This is 8 p.m. and I can't sleep. Like, so it just started bothering me. So I finally asked him, and I'm like, how are you just putting the tip in? We doing all the stuff that we doing. Like, girl, flipping me up and down. I'm riding it and all type of shit I don't even know about. Girl, cut the shit. Oh, that's my baby. He just doing a lot of moving around. Now he about to fall. Look. Good thing you land on all fours every time. He really land on all fours every time he fall. But, so I'm just thinking to myself, like, how are we doing all of this? So, what, Daddy? He just laughing. He laughing like, this is so fun. This is the funniest shit he heard since Grey's Anatomy, bitch. Like, and Grey's Anatomy is not even fucking funny. But this is the funniest shit since Kevin Hart. Like, I'm like, what is so funny? Like, what is funny? I don't see nothing. This is a real question, my nigga. So, I'm like, can you stop laughing? Like, I'm not laughing. I'm asking a real question. He was like, you for real? And And I'm like, yeah, I'm for real. Like, how are we doing this? And I'm still a virgin. He was like, baby, you is not a virgin no more. And I'm like, that's not, I'm like going off. That's not true. Like, you told me you was only put the girl, I'm like, ballistic. I put my virginity, like, on such a high pedestal. So I'm like, you told me you was only putting the tip in. He was like, yeah, that was so many times ago. He was like, do you not realize the stuff that we doing? I'm like, that's why I don't understand, like, how we doing this stuff, and I'm supposed to be a virgin. He's like, you're not. Like, I'm fully penetrating you. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, at this point, I got so emotional. I was like, you lying. Like, I did not want to believe him. So, girl, what you doing? I did not want to believe him. So I got mad. I got actually so, like, physically mad that I left. Like, he's like, come back. I'm like, no, I can't believe you. Like, why would you do that? And I told you that I was not ready to lose my virginity. It's like 2-3 months of us already having sex, and now I'm just realizing, like, I'm thinking we just still horseplay, bitch. We just playing. I'm not knowing this because my mama never explained, like, sex. We were sheltered as fuck, bitch. I didn't know how to cook until, like, just recently. I'm 22, bitch, and I'm just learning how to cook. Like, we were very, very, very sheltered. So I didn't know what was actually sex. I didn't know anything. So I didn't know that was sex. Like, I knew what head was because all my friends was talking about it. They told me, like, that's how I started in the game. Like, was getting head, but I was never penetration. Like, you know, I didn't know. So some people like, girl, you sound stupid. Some people gonna talk their shit in the comments or in their head. Some bitches ain't bold enough. You know, they gonna talk their shit. But this is me being completely transparent and saying, at 16 years old, I had no business having sex because I didn't even know what was considered sex and what was considered foreplay. I thought what we were doing is foreplay. I didn't know that was actual wanky and the panky. Okay? So, girl, I didn't talk to him for a couple days. I did not talk to him for a couple days. And then, if y'all see my live, y'all know how I figured out I really wasn't a virgin. I'm not going to go into details on this because this video may not even get 100 views. But then again, you never know what video decides to go viral. So I'm not going to include the very details of how I figured it out. But just know I had help figuring out, bitch, you're not a virgin anymore. So afterwards, I called him and I was just like crying because I'm like, I can't believe you would do that and all this stuff like that. And then he was like, come over here so we could talk. And we had this long little discussion. He was like, man, you supposed to be mature and grown and like, look how you responded. Like, come on now, how you didn't know what we was doing with sex. And I told him, like, I did not know. Like, I didn't know. That's why I told you not to take my virginity because I was not ready for that to happen. And you still did it, my nigga. And now I just don't know, like, what the fuck is going on with me. And now I'm like, after that, girl, bitch, my motherfucking ass was scared because I'm like, now we was using condoms every time. But now I'm paranoid. Now I'm the girl that every month, bitch, I'm pregnant. Like, bitch, I used to be scared. One time, like, after I realized we was actually having sex, girl, let me tell you, right? Look at me. Let me tell you, my period didn't come on for like 2 weeks. So I started getting nervous and I'm like, I low-key want to tell him, but I don't want to tell him because I'm like, I don't want to scare him and it's nothing. So I didn't tell nobody. I just kept it to myself. I'm like, I'm going to go to buy me a pregnancy test one day before school. I'm going to walk down to the store and get one. Girl, everything in the world was stopping me from getting this pregnancy test. Girl, my sister be like, where you going? I'm coming with you. My best friends on my trail. I was like, I can't go with them because then go see what I'm buying. And then people gonna know I'm having sex. Like, I didn't want nobody to know I was having sex. So, I just ended up not buying it. And then I finally told him so he could go buy it while I was at school or early in the morning and give it to me or something like that. Whatever. Girl, tell me why soon as the same day I told him, he was like, alright, I go buy your test. My fucking period came on. I told him, I was like, I called him like, I don't know, I waited like 2 hours or something. And I called him, I was like, don't go buy it, don't go buy it. He was like, why? I was like, my period just came on. He was like, see, because earlier he told me, he was like, when you start having sex, you know, it can throw off your period. It doesn't always mean that you're pregnant and stuff like that. And I'm like, but we've been having sex. Like, my period wasn't thrown off until, I guess, maybe it was a psychological thing, because at first, I guess I don't know. I didn't think I was having sex. So maybe my body, I don't know, girl. All I know is the minute I realized I was having sex, my period was janky and wanky. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to focus, girl. I'm trying to focus. Let me look what time it is. It's 5, 10, 12, 11, bitch. So, do I want to keep going or no? No, I'm going to cut this one so we can make a part 2. So, after that, we still was bumping and grinding. I have, you know, forgave him. I'm like, girl, it's good and stuff and whatever. And whatever. So, I kept it going with him. But, let me tell you what happened, guys. In part 2 of this story time, hopefully I'm talking loud enough, because I just don't know what the volume is going to sound like afterwards. But, let me tell you, part 2, I'm going to talk about how me and him, things ended. Like, ended, for real. I ended up, like, cutting ties with him, and I'll just give you, I don't know if I want to give you guys a title. I don't think I want to tell y'all the title, because the title is going to tell y'all everything y'all need to know. So, just know shit got crazy, another woman got involved, babies was created, shit went left, and a lot of arguing, a lot of sneaking from my mama, hiding things from my mama. Bitch, I was 16 and dumb. Okay? 16 and dumb. Okay? Did y'all hear me? 16 and dumb. And everybody just thought I was so fucking innocent. Bitch, I'm around this bitch thought not. Well, not really. It was one dude. But I'm around this bitch sneaking and geeking like grown as fuck, bitch. So, oh, next video I'll do my hair like that. But yeah, guys. So stay tuned, because we're gonna close. He only get in 2 parts, y'all. He ain't last that long. He did not last that long. So he lasted long in reality, but like story time wise, he's not gonna last long. I'm gonna do this, and then next week, and then we're gonna go right into the second person that I end up, you know, getting it in with. But it's been another Storytime movie, Jewels and Gems. Hopefully the volume was loud enough. Hopefully you guys are able to hear everything I had to say. And until next time, like I always say, peace.